Back to Sekulow. We're joined now by Rick Grenell, our Senior Advisor for Foreign Policy, National Security. You got a new report for everybody because of your on-the-ground contacts in Germany on the refugee situation and the processing of these refugees before they come to the United States. So I want to let you tell people about that.
Well, look, people who used to work for me, career foreign service officers and career members of DHS, Department of Homeland Security, based in Germany, are calling me and are very concerned about what they're seeing. There is a Biden administration directive to cut corners and to process refugees into the United States as quickly as possible, even without full information, partial information. Many of the refugees don't have proof of what they're claiming. Many of them are unable to provide the normal materials that we require for vetting. And what the Biden team is telling career people in Germany at Ramstein Air Base is that they should process these individuals as quickly as possible with whatever information they have. One individual told me we're being pressured to use our own hunches in order to provide access for people to get to the United States. Now, look, we have tens of thousands that are arriving in Philadelphia and in Dulles right now from Germany. Some of the flights from Kuwait are just refueling in Germany. DHS is putting air marshals on that plane in Germany as it goes then into the United States, which is just another sign that not everyone has been vetted. If you're putting air marshals on a plane in Germany headed for the United States, that means that your vetting process in Kuwait was rushed and not complete. You don't trust that everybody on that plane is able to safely come to the United States. I want to make sure that people understand that we are the most generous nation in the world when it comes to giving people U.S. citizenship. 1 million people a year become brand new American citizens, and we're very proud of that. But unfortunately, Jordan, there's 100 million people who want to come in, and we have to have strict vetting. There has to be rules in place, and we should not cut corners.
I want to ask you this, Rick, because I'm with you. Listen. We're a nation of refugees. We're a nation of immigrants. My grandparents came to this country through Russia in 1917. I'm only the second generation of my family born in the United States, but they had to go through a process, and it took my grandfather 14 years to obtain his citizenship. Here's the concern I have. First, we leave Americans behind. Secondly, we're now rushing, according to your sources now, rushing through this vetting process, which is dangerous for our country. And if people pass the vetting process, welcome them to America with open arms, is my view. My concern here, of course, is that a rush process becomes a dangerous process, and we create our own problems domestically with terrorism if we're not very careful. And we've seen that happen before. The Sarnef brothers, I could go through the list where this has happened. Hopefully, that will never be the case again. We never experienced that in the United States, but we can't be naive here. And I guess that's what your colleagues in your former position are saying, that they're concerned. The folks that have to actually do the vetting.
Look, and it's not fair.
Rick, go with your gut. What does that even mean? I think they're okay. I mean, that's pretty dangerous.
It's the pressure when you don't have proper identification, you don't have proper paperwork, to rush these people through. Now, look, it's not fair to career United States officials, people who work for the Department of Homeland Security, people who work for the State Department Consular Affairs Bureau. It's not fair to them to ask them to rush through a process. We have established guidelines and criteria that many times are congressionally mandated criteria. And we have experts at the State Department, at the Department of Homeland Security, who know these regulations and qualifications intimately. They should not be asked to rush through and break the law in order to meet some political goal. We already know that the Biden administration has rushed through their politics by closing Bagram, by saying that the Pentagon officials are the ones who recommended that. We've already seen the politicians mess this up. Now what they're doing is they're attacking the established process to vet properly individuals coming to the United States. And shame on anyone who tries to pretend like we're anti-refugee or anti-immigrant. I spent 8 years at the UN. I care very deeply about human rights, and the processes that we've put in place are there to protect Americans, and we shouldn't cut corner. Congress needs to immediately call Anthony Blinken in, ask him what is going on, why Department of Homeland Security officials overseas working in our embassies are being asked to rush through refugees without proper paperwork and vetting. I will tell you, I have individuals who have told me that it's such a chaotic mess at Ramstein that they've been asking people to volunteer to come. And many people are saying, I don't want to be a part of this process because we are going to get the blame if anything happens, because they're not letting us comply with all of the rules that Congress has mandated.
Rick, there are countries in Europe, the UK specifically, that dealt with this during the conflicts in Syria, allowing mass immigration, mass refugees without doing the proper vetting, and it led to the leaving the EU, those movements like Brexit. Is that the kind of consequences you think here? I think that people here, they are not going to be inclined to tolerate acts of terrorism in the United States again by Islamic radicals.
Look, I've been very clear with Chancellor Merkel, telling her that the rushed vetting process that Germany instituted was the direct reason for Brexit. Now, people don't like to hear that, but it is the facts. If people in Great Britain would have seen the EU and its leaders, and Germany certainly as the largest economy in Europe is one of the EU leaders. If the Brits had seen proper vetting from the Germans, they wouldn't have moved to have Brexit.